So there I was, scrolling mindlessly through TikTok as something caught my eye. I saw a video that was talking about the next game for the Zelda franchise, and while I can't remember what exactly it was, it really got me thinking, what is next for Zelda? And yes, I know that Tears of the Kingdom just came out, so by no means am I in a rush for the next one. This just got the gears turning. Has Zelda peaked as a franchise?
Hey, listen!
Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have been such legendary games that have completely reshaped gaming and, more importantly, reshaped the Zelda franchise. However, I don't see any way that Nintendo would reintroduce our current Hyrule. As much as we might be in love with it, we've seen all it has to offer. We've had 2 games on its surface, and with this new installment, we've even entered the sky in the depths of Hyrule. So unless Nintendo is going to shock us and tell us we can now go scuba diving in the ocean or exploring space, I don't see a way we can come back to this vast open world. Even if we could, would we want to? Would we want to go back to finding shrines and Koroks and going to help the 4 villages for a 3rd time? So if we were to say goodbye to the beautiful, vast world of current Hyrule and its amazing art style that goes along with it, I'm worried that all we can do is go backwards. Zelda as a franchise could totally go back to the ways of old. We could get another linear story that starts us off in a little village, or whatever Nintendo decides really. We could go off and claim the Master Sword, go off, wear a little green cap, and handle business. But would that be as fulfilling as the past 2 games? Would it have the loads of replayability? Would it have the, oh, what's that over there in the distance, let me go check it out, feel to the game? Would that have the insane creativity and the insane amounts of weapons and weapon combos and arrow fuses that we know now? What I'm trying to say is, can we go any higher from here? For some people, the answer to this is an outstanding no. Some fans don't even like the open world concept, and I'm sure they're sitting at the edge of their seat waiting to go back in my day and back to the ways of old. However, for the rest of us, will it get any better than this? I was late to the party, and my first Zelda game to ever take seriously and play from start to finish was Breath of the Wild. I've gone back and played some of Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, and I plan on finishing those and playing other games on the franchise that are spoken on very highly. But there's one thing extremely clear with those games. They are fun, but nowhere near the levels of fun Breath of the Wild had in store for me. While I can see myself playing and enjoying those games and those types of games, I cannot see myself being so outstandingly shocked by what they have to offer that I'm going to come back to the game after I finish it only to do side quests. Keep in mind that there's no nostalgia for me in this either. As a kid, I only played like an hour's worth of Ocarina of Time, so this is my non-biased opinion on linear style games. Fun, but not as great as open world games. And this could change as I play through more of Ocarina of Time, or more of Twilight Princess, or more Zelda games. But this is how I see it for right now. And this isn't necessarily true for everyone. It's just my opinion, and this doesn't mean that other games are like this either. I find God of War to be one of my most fun gaming experiences I've had. However, Elden Ring, I somewhat got lost on what I needed to do and stopped playing after 11 hours. Don't crucify me, I plan on coming back to the game, I just got distracted with other ones. My point is that as far as Zelda goes, assuming that we won't be going back to the open world, will the old style games ever be able to surpass the current open style? And if so, what would we need in order? We interrupt to tell you to hit that like and subscribe button. We put a lot of effort into this channel, and your support would make it all worth it. I'm actually seeing on the radar right here that if you say hi in Little Crablegs chat, he'll say hi back. Huh? Now back to your regularly scheduled program. I think one of the biggest things that Breath of the Wild introduced that we need to keep moving forward is voice acting. Say what you want about the voice acting, I believe it brought so much life to the game and its characters. With voice acting, the experience felt immersive. At times, it felt more like I was watching a high-quality show or movie rather than a video game cutscene. I feel more emotion in the characters when voice acting is added. I feel the snarkiness of Ravioli, I feel the timidness of Mipha, or the large, confident, yet kind personality of Daruk. Whatever Nintendo decides to do with the next game, if it doesn't include some sort of voice acting, that is a clear step backwards to me. Another thing that we need to keep moving forward is the customization of Link. There's so many different armors in the game that you can pick how sicky... There's so many different armors in the game that you can pick how goofy or sick you look as you go through the game. Not only the armors, but the weapons too. Part of Breath of the Wild's charm was going around and finding all sorts of weapons, and they all had different abilities, and they just looked cool, and Tears of the Kingdom furthered that even more with the complete plethora of different weapon combos you can make. If we go back to only having 3 weapons or whatever, going back to only wearing a tunic all game, and wouldn't that feel a little lackluster? We know that different armors are possible in a linear game. Just look at God of War. I'm not completely sure how Nintendo would incorporate weapon variety into a non-open world game, but I'm sure there's a game out there that's done it, and the way the Zelda team's been, I'm sure they can figure it out too. Another thing to consider is that by the time the new Zelda game comes out, however many years from now, there's a good chance that it won't be on the Nintendo Switch, or at least only on the Nintendo Switch. I think it's safe to say that in the next few years we'll be seeing Nintendo's newest and latest and greatest console. This is off topic, but I also kind of question where Nintendo can go from the Switch. Obviously more power, but shying away from the ability to be a console and a handheld would kind of feel like a step back, so I am curious to see what they would come up with. Anyways, like I said, this new console would probably be more powerful, and we could see Zelda in a graphically breathtaking experience and in 60 frames per second. This gives it a big boost on the technical end, but still doesn't help answer our question gameplay-wise. There could be some sort of new gimmick that we get to use. Maybe it's Zelda in VR. Who really knows? So to answer this question, has Zelda peaked as a franchise? I'm going to say, hopefully not, but very much possible. Maybe I just don't have a creative enough mind, so I would love for Nintendo and the Zelda team to prove me wrong. I'm also curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on this. And what would you want to see in the next iteration of Zelda? If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate a like and maybe a sub if you're feeling extra generous. Crustacean Nation is the best in the business after all. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.